What I'm going to do here, the video doesn't show it, but the hillers actually did really good work. I'm kind of impressed with them. They still need some more fidgeting, and that one broke, that upper support arm, so I've got to try to limp it back to be able to fix that. But all in all, it did really well. I think these are like 39-inch centers, as close as I could get them, because I couldn't move the two inside ones any closer together. If I flipped them and put them on the other side, they would be too close. But what I did is I ran down here and just set the potatoes in the ground. I actually am going to try to flip the tractor around. Try to flip the tractor around and get it to cover them all in. At least that's the guess. Where can I put you guys? It's like you see there. No, you cannot. Wide angle, maybe? Maybe. We'll roll with it and see. It's wanting to kick sideways. It hangs down and gets hung up, and therefore it did not bury all of my potatoes. It did pretty good. There's a couple here and there. Bury them kind of shallow. Video cut off. What I was saying, it really did a pretty good job. Needs some fidgeting. I need to fix that part that broke, because the part that broke is letting it go down too far, and it gets locked in, it gets hung up, and it's wanting to pull the tractor one way or another. Those are King style hillers. JT West actually did a video on it not too long ago where he rebuilt some of his. I only found 2 original ones, and the guy wanted like 75 bucks for them, relatively local. Those I got from Ag Supply for, I think it was like 220 bucks shipped, you know, to the house. And they've got all the serviceable parts for those, or at least my style. And I think the King style, I don't remember what the other style was. You'd have to go back and watch JT West's video on it. But it has to do with the number of bolt holes around the hub. You know, there's been no traffic down this road until I started videotaping this. But so I'm a month late, but the potatoes are in. I don't know if they're going to be any count. Hope so. We'll find out. Once they sprout here and I get the adjustments made on this thing, I'll bring it back down here and probably re-hill it one more time. And I think these are determinate potatoes, so they'll only grow as much as they're going to grow. They're not going to keep on growing, so you don't need to keep hilling them. But I'm probably going to hill them one more time, and then I'll be ready to cultivate. Another thing, I'm not for sure that this whole seed heirloom stuff that I'm trying to do is going to pay off as quick as I wanted it to, which is fine. Cost of seed is ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is, I guess, buy what a little bit I can, plant it, and pretty much this year do nothing but save that whole crop. And then that'll be my seed for next year. So that pushes everything back a year, at least on corn. Sunflowers are still pretty cheap, so that's not a big deal buying that seed. I'm so far behind, I haven't even really looked at anything else, just those two things. I wanted to do kind of a custom bush hogging type deal this summer. I'm going to be helping my brother some, I think, run some of his equipment. And then for my side stuff, I wanted to do some custom bush hogging. I went to apply for a loan at a couple different places, talked to a couple different banks, and didn't get them. It's a bummer, because I was only asking for like $15,000 or $20,000. It actually would have been enough for my truck's really high interest, and I owe like $4,000 on it. But I could have paid off my truck. I could have gotten the trailer, the haul, tractor, and bush hog, and a couple other little things I wanted to do with it. Needed to figure out a hitch or a bed for my truck. That wooden flatbed probably wouldn't do well for you know, if I really start working the truck. But you know, all of them went collateral, which sucks because I have no collateral. My house is paid off. It's basically a double wide, but it's worthless. You know, it's sitting on a family farm that's never mine, never going to be mine. I don't own the land. So therefore, I never converted the double wide into what they call real estate. I actually still technically have a title for it, which makes it absolutely worthless. It's what prevents me from getting homeowners insurance on it and borrowing against it and stuff like that. So my other option is to piddle around with what I can. I guess try to save up 10 grand to buy a trailer and a flatbed, which seems almost unreasonable. I don't know, it's just stuff like that, you know. It's almost like it wasn't meant for me to succeed. You know, it's a shame. I spent all this money on this tractor, getting it running all this time. No blood, but some sweat. And I can't even utilize it to make some money. You know, that was one thing that always just aggravated me. You know, my brother had the farm equipment to help him get started with his hay. Here I am getting this up and going, you know, thinking it would help me get started in a little side mowing and custom planting business. You know, custom planting, custom bush hog. I want to focus on farms smaller than 40 acres. There's nobody that really does that. Everybody wants to plant big acreage. Not me. I'll do the little stuff. I like the mom and pop style thing. But there is no way for me to transport the equipment. Sure, I could borrow a trailer, but then you're getting into hay season, so everybody's trailers are going to be tied up with that. That's, even if I borrowed the trailer, really hooking it up to the truck is not doable. Gooseneck hitch is like $600 or $700, which I don't have that either. Even if you find a used plate that's cheap, the brackets will cost you $400. That's absolutely asinine, but whatever. I'm not much for highly modificating and welding on hitches. I prefer to have it bolt into factory specs, or at least manufacturer's specifications. You know, that way in case something ever happens, lose a trailer, whatever, you're halfway covered. But, so, I guess still technically planning on trying to figure out the financial aspect of it and go from there. With these potatoes being planted, I've got another probably 3 weeks before I really need to plant anything else. I've got cabbage that needs to go in. But other than the cabbage, I've got nothing. So I'll see if I can get the cabbage in this weekend, because I think it's supposed to rain. Today's the 27th or 28th of April. It's Thursday. Lots of plans, lots of plans. Anyways, I'm glad to have the potatoes in. even though they're a month late, they should still do okay. We'll find out for sure here in a couple months. But the pastures behind me, or plots, maybe you'd call them, are looking pretty good. So I'm excited about that. Sunflowers, I'll probably go ahead and try to get in here next week. And then middle of May, the corn. And I still got to figure out everything for my personal garden. You know, the tomatoes and stuff that we're growing. Since I'm doing the corn, my sister's doing the beans this year, and we're going to swap produce on that. So that works out good. This is dried up. I had talked about the tillage. It's dried up pretty good, so I'm going to cut it again. And there's a good chance that I might just go ahead and plant. I want to put pumpkins and watermelons down there at the bottom of this field. Oh, I love this time of year. Anyways, you guys be good and be safe, and we'll catch you next time.